Hello, welcome. Hi. Hi, Tracy.
Hello.
Hi. Welcome to those of you tuning in live for our virtual education fair. I'm Sarah from MomsLA, and this is Tracy from SoCalMoms. Welcome. We are, if you're tuning in for the replay, we're also very glad you came. We may take a moment here to get launched for the live, but the replay people, we're so happy you're here. Don't forget to check on in the comments. There are going to be all the links to everyone, all of our expert panelists, all of our partner schools, and all of the schools joining us in the Zoom afterwards. So we're going to talk about education today, which we know we are all thinking about as parents in Los Angeles, all over the country, but especially in Los Angeles, we're really thinking about it, and we're thinking about all of our options right now. So today we're going to hear from some experts in public school, private school, homeschooling options. We're going to hear from charter school leaders. We're going to hear from public school, private schools, and tutoring options. So we're going to give you a lot of information. You can always, keep checking back on our education guide on MomsLA.com. And then we'll be in Zoom later too. And don't forget, we've got prizes, right, Tracy?
Yes, we do. Like always, I'll be your prize girl today.
So this is so exciting. So anyway, tell us you're here. Leave a comment. Leave your questions. If you can't join us in Zoom later, you can always get back in touch with these school leaders and these experts. So there you have it. This is what we're going to do. Tracy, did you want to jump in? I just was blabbling there.
No, I think the only other thing just to note is that we are going to take your questions, but we're going to try and answer them at 1 o'clock in our Zoom rooms. So we're going to be dropping the link to that. If you signed up via Eventbrite, you also got the link in your email. So you'll come to actually our Zoom rooms at 1, and you'll be able to ask your questions directly to the experts and the schools and educational programs involved. That'll give you more one-on-one time and more opportunity to get your actual questions answered without needing to do it in the public forum of Facebook. So stay tuned for that. And obviously, if you have trouble with the Zoom, you can drop in comments as well, and we'll help you with that.
Yeah. And then, so just to let you know, so our prizes are just in time for holiday shopping. We're going to be giving Amazon gift cards via email. So you don't even have to wait for the mail. The winners will be given their prizes instantaneously, which is always nice. So instant gratification on that.
Yeah. We'll be giving a few away here at Facebook, and then everyone who visits Zoom rooms will be entered for a grand prize, Amazon gift card and gift bags.
Yay. Awesome. All right. Well, listen, so we're gonna get things going. We're gonna get started. Our first expert panelist is Kaden Chernoff, and I'm gonna say I'm gonna move her into the screen and remove Tracy for just a moment while we do this, and we'll see you in a few minutes, Tracy.
Good one.
All right. Whoops. And here we go. Hi, Kaden. So
hello.
Kaden Chernoff, welcome. She, in the process of trying to find a school for her daughter, it led Kaden to want to create the LA kindergarten class. And it's not for kids, it's for parents. So we're going to hear from Kaden, and she's going to talk about what that's all about. And welcome.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. Hi, parents in Facebook world. Thank you for joining us today. Sarah's right that this is the time of year when we're all thinking about next year already. The application period is upon us for private schools and all public schools as well. The LAUSD programs, their application is only open until November 20th, so a lot of us have some decisions to make right away. So Sarah said, my name is Kaden Chernoff, and I started something 4 years ago called the LA Kindergarten Class. And it is a class which is now online. You're welcome to join us anytime. And it's to help parents get through the process of applying to elementary school. So parents of preschoolers in Los Angeles suddenly have to become experts about schools overnight in order to apply for kindergarten for the following year. Now, if you live within the boundaries of LAUSD, that's a great thing. You have a lot of school choices. But what's difficult about that is you have a lot of school choices to consider. So, when I went through this process, I sort of couldn't believe how difficult it was. And I wish someone had told me up front everything I needed to know. And that's what I try to do for parents now. We do a class for parents, but I also work one-on-one with parents who want answers. And one thing I would love to everybody to know who has little kids is that when you go through the process of applying to schools in LA, it's going to be difficult. It's going to be tedious and it's going to be frustrating. And I'm so sorry about that. I wish it wasn't that way, but it is. So if you know that going in, just know it's going to be difficult. There is no Google for schools in Los Angeles. I know in this day and age, we are so used to being able to just type into Google, what's the best app for this? What's the best temperature for the steak that I'm cooking, etc. We're used to getting quick answers. And unfortunately for schools in LA, there isn't a lot of information out there. You can't Google, what's the best school for my kid? What's the best kindergarten program in LA? That isn't out there for us. So it takes a little bit of work and a lot of time for parents to sort of figure out what all of the school options are. The good news is there's so many excellent schools in LA to choose from. So that's the good news. If you have questions today, I'll be answering at 1 o'clock. Anybody is welcome to join me there, and I can answer some quick questions. The online class that I put together is over 2 hours of content broken up into little sections that you can access whenever you want to. So if you're interested in that, I think Sarah's got the information about the online class as well. And MomsLA has put together an amazing offer to help people. Any parent who signs up with their code can save $50 off of the online class. So I guess I will be seeing you all at 1 o'clock, and I'll be answering questions there, and I look forward to it.
You're so fast. You're right. It's so frustrating that there isn't just a Google, like, tell me the best school for my kid. This is what he needs, and this is what he's like, and just, put me in a cookie cutter. But that doesn't happen, right?
Well, LAUSD has done a wonderful job in the last 2 years of putting together a bunch of information online. Their websites have been really improved a lot. And they do have a sorting tool now where you can put in your address and you can sort by some different interests to find the schools nearby. And it will sort them by distance from your house. So that's a great place to start. Mm-hmm. It's just that to really understand the differences between the school types, it just takes some time to go through all the information.
Gotcha. Yep. All right. Well, so we can't rush through this, is what you're saying. And luckily, the class has the great information, and people can get that there. So yeah, we'll try to drop the link. I forgot to put the link with the code where people can get the $50 off, but thank you for the reminder. I'll do that.
Okay.
Thank you, Clayton. All right, so we're going to move on to Priya. Thank you. Bye. All right, so our next expert is Priya NonVR. Did I say your name right, Priya?
Yes, that was perfect.
Fantastic, good. Well, so thank you so much. So we want to hear about NonVR Advising and what you do, and how people can work with you, and what your expertise is. So thank you.
Great. Well, thank you for having me. This has been an incredible year, and it's really shown a light on the different options that families have and the different needs that families have for their children's school needs. And so I appreciate being able to talk about that. Again, my name is Priya NonVR, and I started NonVR Advising about 8 years ago. And I work with families. I'm sort of the Google sometimes of independent schools, and I work with families looking for private schools from K through 12. And before this, I worked in the admissions office at Brentwood School and Viewpoint School for almost 12 years. And I started doing this work, and I have visited almost 95% of the schools in this town and really tried to understand the nuances and the differences between each school. I think that, as I was saying earlier, COVID has really shed a light on different needs that families have and needs that students have. And I think that there are a lot of options out there. You're going to be hearing from homeschool. Kaden talked a little bit about public school options. And I'm going to talk a little bit about private school options. And again, every family has different needs philosophically, academically, financially, demographically in Los Angeles. And I feel like it's important to really explore all of those options. For independent school, it's really important to find a match for you. I think that when you're willing to invest this kind of money and sometimes often driving outside of your neighborhood, it's really important that you're choosing a school based on what your child needs and what your family needs are. So I think there's a couple things to think about, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that, but I can answer some more questions in our Facebook group later, in our Zoom group. But I want you to think about a couple things. First of all, if you are interested in applying to private school right now, there are some spaces that are available mid-year. So it's important that you, if you really are considering it, to call schools to find out if they do have spaces. If you're interested in applying for your child for fall of 2021, the deadlines are going to be in December. A lot of the deadlines are in December. Some have passed, but a lot of them are in December, some are in January. And so there's still time to really visit schools. Everything is online. Everything is virtual this year. So I call it armchair research. You can sit at home and sign up for any kind of tour. So I think it's important to visit schools. And then the application process is around December, but I always think it's better to get your application in sooner than later. And if you're applying for fall or thinking about fall of 2022 and you're just doing your research early, oftentimes this tours start in the spring, but this is a great year to jump on a virtual tour to see if it's a school that you're interested in. A couple things I want to talk about, and I can talk about in more detail in our Zoom group, is the philosophy. Private schools have different philosophies, and it's important to really dig deep and find that out. As Kaden said, there isn't really one Google form or one place that has all of this information where you can understand the nuances of each school. So it is going to involve you doing some research on that. There's traditional, there is progressive, there's developmental, there's so many different kinds of schools out there. Another thing that's important is the religious school and non-religious school. And another thing to look at is the K through 6s, the K through 8s, and the K through 12s. There's different ways of going about independent school in Los Angeles. So I do want to end because we have a lot of other people speaking, but I want to say that I'm happy to answer more specific questions in our Zoom breakout group. There are spaces out there. Don't fall into the frenzy of the independent school world in Los Angeles being so difficult to get into. Yes, it's competitive, but there are spaces out there, and if it's a good match, there's a synergy that forms. And oftentimes the process is a lot easier than you think. So my advice is to do the research, ask the questions. I also help families with this as well in my company, where we evaluate the children, look at fine motor skills, gross motor skills, talk about family philosophy, look at the child, and really come up with a list of schools that could be a good match for your child. But I just wanted to say thank you so much for having me on, and I'm happy to answer some more specific questions when we get to our Zoom link.
When we get to Zoom. And I just want to say, I apologize. I don't know why your video has frozen. We could hear you the whole time, but the video froze. So I apologize for that. And hopefully the Zoom is different. But so thank you so much. Great information. Yes, it's also not one size fits all and cookie cutter schools. There's so many choices there as well, right? So that's amazing.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. All right. So thank you. Oh, hold on here. I have to do this, and we'll say, and then we are doing, don't forget to join the Zoom. And I'm going to bring Tracy back in. I think we're going to do a giveaway, right?
Yes, one quick giveaway. Thanks for listening so far. We have another expert coming up and then some programs talking to you guys today. But right now we're going to do a quick giveaway of one $50 Amazon gift card. So to enter to win, the only thing you need to do is just comment in the comments below the video. We want to know one question you had that brought you here today. So share with us anything you'd like to learn today. Everybody that comments will be interested to win, and one person will be chosen at random. That person will receive a direct message letting them know they're the winner, and we'll grab your email and send your gift card over.
Terrific. All right. Okay, thank you. All right, let's bring in our next expert. So this is Jamie Heston. Welcome.
Hi.
Hold on, let me just get your name up here. All right, so Jamie Heston is a veteran homeschooler of 2 teens, not just one. She's from the Bay Area, and she has her finger on the pulse of the entire California, all the rules and laws governing, because it's not just a free-for-all. You do have to follow some rules here if you want to be a homeschooler, and Jamie knows exactly what's going on. So welcome, and thank you for coming to talk to us about, because a lot of people are thinking about, I'm home anyway, what's the difference between distance learning and homeschool learning? I know there's a big difference, so please, I'm gonna let you.
Yes. We have seen the biggest disruption to our education system that we're ever likely to see in our lifetime. Thousands of families have flocked to homeschooling worldwide as an alternative to in-person or distance learning. So if you're considering homeschooling, I'd like to offer you a few tips to help you take full advantage of this really unique opportunity. And my first tip is eat the cake. Don't replicate school at home. You have this amazing opportunity to do something very different and tailor what you're doing to uniquely fit your child's learning style, their passions and interests, along with your family's rhythm and your schedule. So don't deprive yourself of the homeschooling cake right now simply because you might not be doing it later. And my next tip is to look at learning differently. Remember that there's all kinds of valid learning, and embrace flexibility. Learning doesn't have to take place at a desk or the kitchen table. I mean, if your child's comfy on the couch or the floor or on the grass in the yard, great. And school doesn't have to take place between only 9 a.m. and 2 p.m. either. You have all day long, evenings, weekends to fit in academics and accommodate parental work schedules. And it's okay to slowly build out what you're going to do when you begin, and then change it as you go to see what's working and what isn't. Also, homeschoolers are not really teachers so much as we are facilitators. We sort of come alongside our kids and we bring resources to them. And remember that you did teach your kids how to do literally everything from age 0 to 5 without being a teacher, without a credential, and without a lesson plan. You're very resourceful. You're here today, right? And there are many curriculums, programs, classes, and support groups to help you do this. Now, my third tip is to implement real life as much as possible to broadly cover multiple school subjects. And this applies to any age child, but especially our teens who need these life skills sooner than our younger kids do. And that means involving them in household tasks like meal prep, cooking, baking, dishes, cleaning, sewing, laundry, repairs, and budgeting. Also do things like play board, card, and dice games. Read to your kids every day, even when they're older. Do arts and crafts. Look up kitchen science online. Do experiments with supplies you likely have on hand. Watch documentaries, educational videos. Listen to audiobooks or podcasts while the kids play with clay and Play-Doh and Legos. Make sure you exercise and get outside a few times a day. Take online classes. Start a small business. Build a website. Grow a garden. Do yard work. Build something out of cardboard, or take apart old broken electronics you have lying around the house. Within all of these activities are learning opportunities that encompass science and history, language arts, literature, and math. Learning optimally is fun and engaging. It's not something that necessarily needs to be measured or tested when you homeschool. You'll have a discussion with your child and you'll know they got the concept they just learned. You'll know they understood it. You won't need your child to produce a book report if you're discussing what you're reading after each chapter. And if your child is resisting or distracted, you can take a break. You can do something different. You can try that thing again later or another day, or drop it all together and try a different way. And over time, you're going to create this rhythm to your days. You don't need formal lesson plans. You don't need grading metrics. You're going to see plain as day that your children are thriving and learning. Now, many parents, of course, and kids thrive with a schedule, right? So if that's you, try one. And if it works, great. But if it doesn't, then you get to adjust and be flexible and try something else. And this is why I say, every family's different. You're going to get to do what works for you. And that's the beauty of homeschooling, whether we're in a pandemic or not. You can really build it and tailor it exactly to your family and your individual children's needs. You can speed up or slow down where needed. You can schedule your days to fit your needs. Now, lastly, in order to facilitate the social time that we're all craving right now, but we really can't have safely in person, I super recommend using video software to connect your kids with their extended family and their friends as much as you can during this time. For instance, my teens have set up an online weekly Dungeons and Dragons game with their friends, and I know families who are having grandparents read to their kids remotely every day. There's also wonderful online drama, music, and like game-centric classes where kids can interact and connect with each other on a regular basis. You could also consider social bubbling with another family that you're very comfortable with in terms of risk and health and safety measures, and get together with them in real life. So to conclude, in the state of California, it's really easy to establish your home as a small private school. You just keep a few records, you file a private school affidavit in order to legally homeschool. So, as we said at the intro here, I have homeschooled since the beginning. My kids were 3 and 5 when I started, and they're 16 and 18 now. And my 18-year-old's in college and getting A's. So I've been successful at this. And I do consult with families to kind of inspire them and get them started in homeschooling. So I do invite you to join me in the Zoom room after this event to ask questions and learn more about homeschooling and how it might benefit your family.
Awesome. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Jamie. First of all, can I sign up for your homeschool right now? I just want to play with cardboard and I want to have someone read to me as well.
Doesn't it sound great?
You make it sound doable, which is great. And so that's helpful. I think it can seem, I did some research myself, and yes, the rules, establishing a private school sounds quite daunting. So I appreciate you being an expert in how to do this and helping people. So people, again, you can connect with Jamie in the Zoom, but you can also just check out her website and get in touch with her there.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right. We will, let's see now. Let me do this. I'm going to bring Tracy back in, and we're just going to say hi again. And we're going to, we have actually our next panelist, or actually not our next panelist. We've had our panel speak, and now we're going to have our partner schools and programs speak. So just wanted to check in with Tracy, see how the giveaway is going. Is that all good? Oh, somehow the audio didn't work.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
I'm sorry.
So we had some really good questions being dropped in the comments, and I just want to reiterate to everyone that we're going to have you ask those in the Zoom format directly. So we're going to circulate those comments to the experts, and then we'll have you ask those in a few minutes. So stay tuned for that, because I think you can get better answers in more depth in those rooms.
Okay, fantastic. All right, so I'm going to say thank you, Tracy. I'll see you back in a few minutes. Okay. And welcome to Mac from Ednovate. Now, am I saying, is it Ednovate? Ednovate?
Ednovate. Ednovate is correct. Yes.
Ednovate. Thank you, Max. So welcome. Ednovate Charter Schools is one of our partner schools for this event, and you can find out more about them in our education guide. But I'm going to let Mac talk about it, and I will I'll give you the screen.
Excellent. Thank you. Well, thank you all for taking the time to come learn about all of the great opportunities available to you and your families and your students. I am here to represent Ednovate Charter Schools. We are a network of charter schools serving the Southern California region, specifically Los Angeles and Santa Ana community. We're relatively young in the education realm in the charter network. We are currently in our 8th year of existence, but we've been fortunate enough because of our record of success to be able to open up 6 schools serving over 2,000 students in Southern California. Our schools are college prep high schools. We have 5 schools located in Los Angeles, and we have 1 school located in Orange County in the Santa Ana community. What makes our schools unique is twofold. One, the individuals who started Ednovate, and myself included, we have a track record and a history of success in the education realm. I've been in education for over 20 years with a variety of experiences, and we were fortunate enough to start our school, the first school in our network, USC Hybrid High, in partnership with the USC School of Education. And that school, USC Hybrid High, is located near USC. So USC wanted to really have a more of a stronger imprint and support the community around them. And they wanted to open up schools, and they decided to connect with people who have experience doing that work, and hence the birth of our school, USC Hybrid High. As a result of the success of USC Hybrid High, we were fortunate enough to open up East College Prep, Esperanza College Prep, Brio College Prep, Legacy College Prep, and we actually just opened up our newest school, South LA College Prep, as well too. So as college prep high schools, we're able to really leverage our partnership with USC to give our students the access to be able to be adequately prepared for their college education. We utilize a blended learning approach, which has actually been very beneficial for us as we had to transition to distance learning given this pandemic. I hope you guys are all managing the pandemic well, and I hope you guys are all staying safe. But because of our blended learning approach, every student has access to a computer, and our instructors develop online lessons for our students. Our students are still coming to school in your regular traditional brick and mortar sense, but because the teachers create and build a curriculum online, it allows our students to be able to work at their own pace. So if you have a student who's really great at math, and that student is ready to move on to the next thing, and in a regular traditional school, that student has to wait for everybody else in their classroom. But in our model, because everything is already built out in a virtual platform, that student is able to move ahead and doesn't have to wait for everybody else. On the flip side, if your child is struggling and needs additional support, that child can take their time and doesn't have to feel the pressure that everybody around me is ready to move on and I'm still holding the class back. That student is able to take their time and get the individualized support that they need from their instructors and their educators. Our schools also allow our students to focus on what we call positive multi-generational change. We want to ensure that every single one of our students is not only going to college, but they're also developing the necessary character in order to come back into their families and make an impact on their communities and an impact on their families as well too. We want our students to be true change agents for our community and for our world. We want them to be great citizens of the world as well too. So our students are able to engage in a variety of opportunities. Like I said, through our partnership with USC, our students are doing research. They're exploring their interests. If they're interested in art, they can explore art. If they're interested in science, they can explore science. And we really allow our students to thrive and grow in our educational atmosphere. We've built 3 brand new, wonderful, unique learning environments. Our buildings look like college campuses. We want our students to really be truly prepared to be successful in college. We currently have a 99% acceptance rate to a 4-year university. So that's something I'm really proud of. We'll get back to 100%, but we currently have a 99% 4-year university college acceptance rate as well. In order to enroll at our school, it's very simple and straightforward. All you need to do is visit our website, ednovate.org. We'll share that information with you, but ednovate.org, check out our information, and then you can submit an enrollment form to our website. Depending on the number of applications we receive, if there are more applications than seats available, then we will hold a public lottery in February, and then students will be offered a seat based off of that public lottery information. Our schools offer a variety of sports and clubs and activities. In fact, all of our clubs are student created. So if there's a club that your child wants and we don't currently have it, all your child needs to do is create that club at the school. We offer soccer, basketball, football, cheer, volleyball, baseball, softball, and a whole variety of things as well too. So thank you again for the time, and look forward to sharing more information with you about Ednovate Charter School.
Yes, fantastic. Yes. Oh man, it sounds it's so impressive. All of those all those things, all the attributes of the students in the school. It sounds really, really cool. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, and don't forget, you can talk to Mac in the Zoom coming up, and also you can just get in touch with the school. So thank you. All right. And now we're going to hear from, this is Jessie. And Jessie is the marketing manager for NH Tutor by New Horizons. And so, so this is really important stuff because a lot of our kids are they're not getting school in person and they don't get the help that they need always. So tell us about what you guys do and I'll let you have your time.
Yeah, thanks, Sarah. Thanks for putting this on. Really appreciate you welcoming us to your fair today. NH Tutor, you may have seen the Facebook or Instagram ads. A lot of people are posting and getting kids enrolled in the NH Tutor programs. You may have seen this around and wondered, well, what is this? I don't understand the ads and the website's confusing. So that's kind of why I wanted to join and let people know really what we're about. Yes, we do offer one-on-one tutoring, as the name would imply, the NH Tutor. If anybody needs to have a tutor, traditionally teach on a subject, which would be in addition to what they're doing at school to teach on a particular subject. But I also want to tell you about today our group accountability sessions, which are really popular. These are the most numerous ones that we're having a lot of students come in. We have on our website, it says, I'm going to read a quote here, tutors will work with students to guide them through the required work, answer questions, and help students establish and develop study skills. So what does that mean? Well, I'm going to go off script a little bit here because I'm a dad. As you can tell, I'm in my daughter's room working from home, as a lot of us are. So forgive the mess, but she's in 6th grade. And, when the pandemic hit, she has to do work from home. And she has these asynchronous times where she's not on with her teacher or the class. And traditionally, the teacher would kind of roam around the classroom, right? Until, the kid's like, oh, hey, I see you're doing a good job. Fix this or do that, right? And so we as parents are having to step in and kind of be that additional support during asynchronous times. And, I'm working, my wife is working during the day, it's a little tough. And so NH Tutor really solves that problem with being able to have the accountability session where she can just log on to NH Tutor. She jumps on, hey, Mia, go jump on NH Tutor. And the tutor is there with another group of kids. It's almost like a little study hall, and being able to answer questions and be that kind of floating adult for the kids when they're doing asynchronous times. And that can be during the asynchronous hours, during school, or after school. And I'll go into more details about how the program works online and the hours and rates and everything in the Zoom breakout session. But, I talked to her about the NH Tutor program, and she was super excited about it. But I know many of us as parents may not be familiar with New Horizons, so I want to share who we are from the beginning. We started in 1982 teaching Excel classes. We started out in Orange County and grew to be able to teach Word, PowerPoint, up to IT, networking, cloud, project management, presentation skills, writing skills. So really training a variety of adults who are looking to either get back into the workforce, who may have been laid off, with the support of government funding partner programs that we have to train them for new careers, to IT professionals looking to get ahead in their career and get certified. So we have the experience, a few decades worth of experience teaching and training and doing it remote. We've been doing it remote for a couple of decades as well. And I've had parents and teachers, educators come up to me, well, so how do you guys do the remote learning? And I'm getting them in touch with some of our teachers. So we've been doing this for quite some time. And when the pandemic hit, we saw this problem with our youth and we wanted to step in and provide a solution. So we do believe in safe return to school, however that looks like. We want to support our parents and teachers, staff, and families while they figure out how to return to school safely. So we're very active in a Facebook group, which I'll post the link to the Facebook group, SoCal Parents for Safe Schooling. And I know you may have some more questions about the program, NH Tutor, New Horizons. Some of our parents who have used the NH Tutor are going to be in the Zoom breakout session. So I have some parents who are fans of NH Tutor. I'll be there to answer specific questions about the program and pricing. But if you want to hear just from real parents about how it is and what it's about, join the Zoom breakout session. If you have any questions for me, go ahead and reach out to me myself. I'll have my comment in the chat and you can reach out to me. Thanks again, Sarah and Tracy. You guys are amazing for putting this on. What a wonderful load of resources you have for all of us. Trust me, I'm taking notes. I took some notes from the homeschool mom. I'm like, okay, yeah, we've got to do that.
Thank you so much. Oh, we're so glad you came. So, yes, so Jesse told you, he's going to have people in the Zoom breakout room with him. And of course, you can get in touch via their website, which we've dropped in the comments. And you can find them on MomsLA.com as well in the education guide. So,
absolutely.
All right, thank you.
MyNHtutor.com. Thanks, Sarah.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to bring Tracy back in. Let me try I didn't mute you this time.
Hi, yes, I'm good. You can hear me now, I think.
Yes.
All right, guys, so we are going to do our next giveaway, and then after that, we'll pick up on our giveaways in our Zoom rooms.
Yeah.
So this is our second giveaway, and it is another $50 Amazon gift
Woo!
card. Yes.
All right.
And we're asking you to, again, just drop a comment and tell us one thing that you actually like about teaching your kids at home. If you can find one thing.
One thing.
That's all you have to do is find one thing
I'll find one thing
about having your kids at home learning with you.
Gotcha. All right. Well, thank you. And so I'm going to also say, oops, I have the wrong banner up there. But don't forget, so we are, what am I doing here? Sorry. Don't forget to join us on Zoom after, but we still have a couple of schools we're going to hear from here live on Facebook. And I do want to mention we have 4 schools, 4 programs that we are going to hear from just in Zoom. So tune in. You could hear from the Avison Center for Independent Study. So they do a hybrid charter and homeschool program. There's Compass Charter Schools will also be there in Zoom. Citizens of the World Charter Schools, and Bright Star Schools. So those will all be there. And then now we're going to hear from Kip Charter School. So I'm going to say we will see you later, Tracy.
And you guys in Zoom.
Okay. And I'm going to add in Cynthia from Kip, why did I say Chip? That's terrible. Kip Charter School. So welcome.
Thank you.
And so introduce yourself and your schools and tell us, I'm going to get out of your way.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. I hope everyone's staying safe during this pandemic. My name is Cynthia Avila. I am with Kip SoCal Schools. We have about 20 schools in LA County and 19 in LA County and 1 in San Diego. We have open enrollment right now until February 12th, and you can apply online or by phone by visiting kipsocal.org. So let me tell you a little bit about our schools. Kip SoCal Schools are tuition-free public charter schools open to all students from transitional kindergarten to the 8th grade. And we're college preparatory schools and provide arts-based programs. At Kip SoCal, middle schools and elementaries, our whole child approach follows our Kipsters along their path to and through college. So our approach not only focuses on rigorous academics, but also provides character development, enrichment activities, social emotional learning, physical and mental health programs, and the nurturing of one's purpose. So our award-winning elementary schools, grades TK through the 4th grade, are focused on community care and the cultivation of a love of learning. So our goal is to ensure that we see, develop, and inspire the greatest potential in each Kipster. So there is a strong emphasis on foundational literacy, conceptual math, and exposure to a multitude of STEAM experiences. Our Kip Middle Schools are places and spaces to begin the development of our Kipsters' identities as informed and engaged citizens of their schools, their communities, and of the world. So they learn and think deeply and write passionately, and they engage thoughtfully through rigorous learning experiences. At Kip SoCal, 94% of our middle school alumni graduate from high school. Students meet with their Kip through college counselors in the 7th grade and develop relationships with their mentors throughout high school, college, and career. So Kip is community. So during this pandemic, we've engaged in open dialogue between students, families, and communities to understand their needs, their concerns, but most importantly, their realities, to foster important connections and navigate through this new world together. So this month, we do have our wellness
Wednesday workshop, and we are going to be focusing on managing stress as one of our resources as you and your child navigate through this distance learning time. So this is going to be a free workshop that we're offering. It's going to be a Facebook Live. It's going to be November 18th at 4 o'clock. You can visit our social media pages to learn more about that. And remember to join me today at our Zoom breakout room to get details about distance learning, our Kip Through College program, and our free community resources. And at Kip, we support your children until they become successful adults. Thank you for your time, and I hope to see you soon.
Thank you so much, Cynthia. I appreciate you being here, and I love Kipsters. I like that term. So thank you.
Thank you.
Right. Well, thank you so much. And now let's see. I have to do a little thing here and move this, and then I'm going to welcome Chris Donahue to the screen. Chris is the Director of Admissions at Browerman Elementary School East. And welcome, Chris. I'm gonna turn the screen over to you and let you tell us about your school.
Thank you so much. Thank you to the MomsLA and LA Parent for hosting this event, for inviting us. As was just said, my name is Chris Donahoe. I'm the Director of Admissions at Browerman East. We are in our 10th year. And this is my 9th year at the school. We're located on the same campus as the Wilshire Boulevard Temple in Koreatown. And in our 10th year, we've graduated 3 classes of 6th graders who have gone on to tremendous middle schools in the Los Angeles area. We have our largest enrollment right now, despite what's going on with COVID, and have also been awarded the K-2 waiver. So we're excited to be able to have more students safely return to campus. And we've also been growing. We're only in our 10th year, so we still have a little bit more growing to do. We grew by 13.5% last year. It's really difficult in this amount of time to tell you all the things about our school. So I'm just going to focus on a few things that I think differentiate us. One is community. I think all schools have some sort of culture or community. I think at Browerman East, it is extremely tight-knit where all of the teachers know all of the students know one another, the parents know one another. And because of that, I think because of all the buy-in from the families and the dedication of our staff and parents, that's what's helped us become so successful and thrive in just these 10 years. We also are really focused on service. We have something called the Car Center on our campus. And so our families and students have opportunities to participate in a food pantry every Sunday and other larger events where we help the greater Los Angeles community. We also have a problem-solving curriculum where students work in areas of their passions called passion projects, and they're able to help out, whether it's Habitat for Humanity or Alexandria House, or putting out PSAs for things that are happening in the Los Angeles area to inform our parent body, our community. And so they can learn how to be active citizens in our community and in our world. We're also extremely individualized. Every student is seen as where they are. We're a developmental approach where we focus on moving a child 1 year ahead of where they are. So every child can have their needs met where they're coming in from. And another thing is that your voice matters. Whether it's you as a parent, our door is always open as administrators to our parent body. And our students have a voice, and they are given leadership opportunities and public speaking opportunities. And that helps them build their confidence as individuals. I hope you will join me in the breakout room or for one of our final virtual visit. And we also have a day in the life of kindergarten coming up on Monday, November 16th. I'm dropping some.
I love kindergartners.
They're the best. Seeing them on campus right now is just making things way better. Thank you again.
Thank you, Chris. And I apologize for mispronouncing your name, Donahoe. I'm sorry about that. So thank you.
No worries. Thank you.
All right. All righty. So let me do this, and then we will do this and say welcome to Candy Schroeder's And she is head of school for the Melrose campus of Stratford schools. Is that right? I think I got that right. I hope I got that right.
You got that right. Yeah.
Okay, good. It's a little, I want to make sure we can hear you.
Can you hear me?
It's a little faint, but let's give it a shot.
Okay, is that better? Maybe if
Better,
I hold it
yes.
closer?
Yes.
May look a little awkward, but that's okay. So thank you, Sarah. This is my 18th year at Stratford School, and I'm excited to share my program with you. Stratford School began 21 years ago in Danville, California. Our co-founder, Sherry Adams, had a vision in mind to create the best school in the Bay Area. And it became so popular and it grew organically due to long waiting lists and demands of parents that since 1999, we've grown from one school to 25 plus campuses, specifically 3 in the Los Angeles area. One nestled in Altadena at the foothills, one in the heart of Hollywood, and one in West Los Angeles at the edge of Santa Monica. All 3 campuses offer preschool through TK or kindergarten, with Altadena and Hollywood offering a Mandarin bilingual program as well as an elementary school. Stratford's promise of balance is what makes us unique, a balance of curriculum, a balance of methods and approaches to education, and a balance of offerings. So let me share about our preschool program. Our schedule balances long blocks of curious play where the teacher facilitates questioning and thinking, where they develop their problem solving and critical thinking skills. In addition, we have short 15 to 20-minute blocks of structured learning that includes phonics, math, science, Spanish, and even computer coding. And social and emotional development is a really big focus at this age, and it's taught all the time and modeled all throughout the day. All of our Stratford campuses have music performances twice a year for parents to come and watch and take lots of pictures. And we also, in addition to performing arts, we offer a fine art component where they're exposed to great artists such as Matisse and Van Gogh, and students have the opportunity to create their own masterpiece. Another important part is our parents. We offer parenting workshops multiple times a year, and we have a parent committee that we love to build, a parent community, and hold lots of family events each year, and those are put on by you, the parents. And as you know, most parents choose private school for safety. Last June, we had to reopen and we had to rethink about all of our safety procedures due to COVID. So I wanted to share with you some of the COVID safety things that we're doing right now. At arrival, we have a health station. We complete a temperature check. We ask a few questions. We have a no contact electronic sign-in system. Once the kids arrive to the classroom, they wash their hands. In fact, we wash our hands multiple times a day, all the time. Inside the classroom, they have their own space for their papers, for their lunch, their table. They even have their own box of supplies to avoid sharing. Face coverings are required, and we were really worried about that, but it hasn't been a challenge at all. They're really resilient. And a big focus on cleanliness, disinfecting all day, multiple times a day, and we even disinfect the entire playground between classes. We have a very strict sick policy that follows the Department of Health exposure management plan, and we've had 0 closures since we've opened. And we recently received the certificate of COVID safety from the Department of Health. So thank you for listening. I hope you come see us.
Absolutely. Yes. I mean, of course, there's so much more to say about all of the schools and programs, of course, and Stratford too. That we're squeezing it in because it's a live broadcast, but there's more time on Zoom with all of the schools, and especially with Ms. Schroeder's from Stratford. And then you can obviously, and we'll make sure you all have the links, you can get in touch with each of these schools directly. So you can get much more information, much more than you can get in a quick glimpse like this. But so thank you so much for coming on today, and we'll see you in Zoom. All right, and I will say thank you all for coming. Don't forget, again, besides Ednovate and NH Tutors, we have Browerman East, we have Kip SoCal, we have Stratford Schools, we have Avison Center for Independent Study, Compass Charter Schools, Citizens of the World Charter Schools, Bright Star Schools, all with us in the Zoom. So we hope to see you there, and thank you all for coming. big grand prize we're giving away in the Zoom for you, but you must come to the Zoom to be eligible to win it. So thank you so much for coming to our first virtual educational fair, and we'll see you maybe in person in 2021. Bye.